Welcome to Applied Logics. In this video, we will see how to calculate sum of array elements. For example, if you receive an array with 3 elements, let's say 5, 3 and 2 as an input, your program should return 10 as the output. Also, let's take another example. If your program receives input as an array with 5 elements like 10, 20, 40, 50 and 30. In this case, your program should return 150 as the output. Let's see how we can build that program. Okay, so I'm creating a file with name solution.java and here it is. So I have a solution class inside it. I will quickly add a entry point, that is public static void main, and a string args arguments. So this is as per the syntax. Okay, I will go ahead and add one more function. It will be a public static int and calculate sum. Okay, so this will be our function which will get called from main in order to calculate the sum. Pay attention towards couple of things like int. This is the return type. So our function will return the sum of array elements. The other one, like the name of the function, we might have used something like function1, function2 or simply name xyz, right? But using a meaningful name always helps. It is actually an best industry standards, or you can say industry practices, where you should use meaningful names. So as I'm using calculate sum. Okay, again this function should accept array of integers, right? Because we are passing an array to it, array of integers to it, and it will calculate the sum and return the value to us. Okay, and now let's declare one array over here so that which we can pass to that function. So I'm just declaring and initializing an array over here, just like 5, 3 and 2, which was there in our previous example. Okay, now I am declaring one more variable as a result, and whatever we will receive out of the function calculate sum, we are going to assign that to results. Okay, and at the last I will go ahead and print the value of result. Okay, cool. So here I am declaring the array and initializing it as well. Then here I'm calling the function with given array. So this is the input for our program or for our function, and we are storing the result or the output from our function inside result variable, and we are displaying it. Okay, now how to calculate the sum? So in order to do that, let's initialize one variable with 0. So this will hold the result, like the sum. I'm just quickly adding a return statement so that I won't get any warning. Okay, cool. Now this is the place where we have to add the logic. Okay, now in order to calculate the sum of all the elements inside that array, the first and important step we need to take is to iterate through that array, right? As we have to check value of each element and add it into the sum variable, right? So in order to iterate, or you can say traverse the array, we need to use for loop, right? So I am quickly taking a for loop, taking one index like I, and I will iterate till I have the input inside the array, like till the length, and here is the increment. So I will increment the counter or index by 1. Okay, now here I will take one variable which will hold the value of current element inside the array. Okay, so how we can access that? Yes, with the input of I. So in this way we will able to access the value at the ith index. Okay, cool. Now what we have to do is we have to add that value inside the sum variable. Okay, so we have to do something like sum plus current element. Okay, and we have to assign it back to sum. Okay, for example, in our case, when I equals to 0, when I equals to, let me put over here, when I equals to 0, your current element will hold value of 5, right? Reason being, it will be access input of I, that is input of 0. Input of 0 means element at the 0th index, right, which is 5. Now what will be the updated value of sum? Here you are doing sum equal to sum plus current elements, which is like 0 plus 5, right, which is equals to 5. So your sum will hold 5 after the first iteration. Now in the second iteration, i's value will become 1. I will become 1. Your current element will points to 3, right? As input of 1 will be 3. Now your previous sum value was 5 and your current element is 3. So your updated sum will become 8. Now you will go up. Next, I will reach to 2. The current element value will become 2 and the previous sum will be 8 plus current element is equal to 2, which becomes 10, right? Now our for loop will terminate because our I become 3, which is not less than length of the array, right? So we will come out of this loop and we will return the sum, which was 10. Now this is the program. Now let me quickly remove the comments from it. Okay, okay, cool. Let's see if it works with other inputs as well. So I will quickly open the terminal over here. Okay, so I have opened the terminal. You can see I have a Java file with me. Let me compile it quickly. You know the command like java c and then the solution.java. Okay, after compiling, you have observed that there is one more file got generated, which was solution.class. Let's run the code. Okay, so I got 10, which means our program returned a correct value. Now let's go back and see if we still get correct values if we update certain things, like instead of 532, if I added 10, 20, 40, 50 and 30. It was there in our second example. Now let's go back and see if it still works or not. Okay, now okay, let me compile it one more time. The reason I'm compiling it one more time because we have made changes inside a code. Okay, so if we don't compile it, we will still get the earlier result, right? So as we have updated values of array, we need to compile it again. Cool. If I run it, I will get 150, right? Which was expected. So with this, we concluded how we can calculate sum of array elements. If you still have any questions or doubts around it, you can always go ahead and mention it in a comment section. Thank you.